Hi guys, it's Sophie. So today I wanted to make a quick video for you on something different. Obviously I do the book side of my video in terms of the books I'm reading, but I also do write, and those of you who've seen my NaNoWriMo wrap up know I read a short story in that video. I think I'd like to try and put more videos on writing on my channel and on that side of sort of books and sort of the creating side of writing, rather than on just always the sort of receiving end. I don't know if it's something you are interested in or not, but I'll just put up, videos every now and again, and maybe it's just nice to mix stuff up a little bit. So I'm going to read you another short story that I wrote in the month of November, and as before I would love some feedback. If it's critical, that's absolutely fine. I'm more than happy to sort of accept that, but I thought it could be nice just to read you another bit. So this story is called The Yeti. When I was young, the whole universe was white. Jewels of snow sparkled across the crown of the equator, and even at its height the sun burnt cold. When the earth began to melt, my brothers and sisters crept to the tops of mountains to survive the floods, but I was afraid of heights, and so walked instead around the lines of the globe and found myself at the tip of the world. I did not think there would be life here. I had not known that other creatures had thought to walk across that bridge that's now broken its back. I saw you shiver in the breeze, in the driving snow that burnt your eyes and blackened your fingers, and I knew that you were summer's children. Delicate creatures with your bare skin and open eyes. You were not made for my desert. But I was young then, hopeful and lonely, and I watched you with the cautiousness of a new father. For the first millennium you did not see me, so enamoured were you with the kiss of flame and the life it brought. And when you first noticed me fishing beneath the ice sheets, you thought me unholy, unnatural. You knew me only as Iceman, and you tried to drive me out. I forgave you for this, for I knew you were only children. In the next century I saw you copy me, spinning lines down into the silky black waters. You brought up fresh char and fed a family. By the time you spoke your first words, stuttering and unsure, you called me grandfather, and I let your elders touch my fur to better know what warmth meant. You built homes in the snow, made of moss and darkness, so that you might survive those harsh winters. And in the spring you birthed 1,000 sons and daughters with 100 names. When you grew brave and restless, you took to the waters, in frames of bone wrapped in skin, and I watched you from my hilltop and hoped that you'd be wary of those creatures with teeth, the shark, the sea lion, the killer whale. Some of you fell into the belly of those beasts, while others still thwarted them and brought back their bodies for dinner. I taught you of satiety, of contentment, and while you were reluctant to move at first, fearing the fickle tides and the fragile shell of the ice, you followed me in the end. We saw the season through in seal, caribou, fish, and, when the sun was at its shortest, whale. I cannot say that I fed you well, but I fed you regularly and was proud to see you grow. When you asked me, I taught you the songs of my mother, in tongues. I taught you the old gods' names. I showed you the difference between the snows, Aput, heavy and solid, and Ghana, as light as a gull. You made good students, but happiness, like snow, tends to melt. Your brothers came from the south. From the feet of the mountains I left my family on, abandoned to the summer months. They came with anger, and with a word called murder, and I lost half of you to them. I hid with you in the depths of the stormlands, but they came like an avalanche, and that summer I could barely walk down our shores between the corpses of the whales, whole but for their mouths, and I wondered if those men had thought the mighty fish might sing of their deeds and so had cut out their throats. I had never thought that any of you would join them, but you did, paid in a liquid that helped you forget that coughing and the disease that patterned your skin like leopard seals. And when those southern brothers came for you full of violence and promises, you forgot me. You forgot the days before warmth, before food. You forgot that walk across that tender bridge that we both made. And I knew then that my family were dead. That your brothers had slaughtered them as easily as they did the great whales of the ocean. And I knew that you forgot my name, grandfather, and that you only remembered that old name, that you had teased me with as children, and my tears, hot and salty, melted what remained of the ice caps and of the old world. So I hope you enjoyed that, and as I say, it's just a little bit of something different. If you do want to leave me some feedback, that would be much appreciated. Whether it's positive or negative, absolutely fine, no worries either way. So thank you all for listening, and I will see you soon in my next video. Bye bye.